Hi, I'm Callum Zilietto and we're here today to speak with Jo Fordham about Army recruitment, the reserves, and even speak to a reserve herself. Hi Jo, thank you for inviting us here today.
You're welcome.
So tell us a little bit about what your setup is and what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So a number of things really, but ultimately we're promoting the Army Reserves, and the opportunities within the Army Reserves. So just to get the word out that we are heavily recruiting at the moment, and also to showcase the opportunities that are available across the Army Reserve sort of network, if you like, across the different units.
And do you find it difficult to recruit people that are in full-time employment? You know, are they reluctant to commit extra time, or do they jump at the opportunities?
I think it's a real mixture. I think there are some people that absolutely know exactly what's involved and what the commitment looks like. So it's a minimum of 19 days, which actually isn't too much.
No.
Some people might think that it is a lot more than that we're asking for. So it's really to try and dispel some of those misconceptions around the Army Reserves and kind of what you need to commit to.
And what benefits are there for someone to take on an Army Reservist role?
So there are absolutely tons of different things that are a really good benefit to people that want to join the Army Reserves. You know, from things like a CV builder, as I say, to build the skills that are really, really good for employers to look at and to make you more employable out in civilian street. But also as well, just within the Army, you know, the challenge, the opportunity to sort of gain extra qualifications, to really push yourself physically and mentally in some of the different things that you'll get involved in that you might not have the opportunity to do elsewhere.
You're also using a lot of Oculus Rift technology, so sort of virtual reality here today. How does that benefit the recruitment?
So it's a really good way for people to get a feel for exactly what it's like to be in the Army, so to be in some of the vehicles that you could potentially be in the role that you're recruited for, and just to get a feel for exactly what it's like on a day-to-day basis, some of the exciting things that you can get involved in. By using that technology, you can really see for yourself, so not just read about it on the website, you can really see exactly what it's like and what it feels like and feel like you're being a part of it.
No, I think it's a great opportunity, even for myself. I got to see what it's like on a tank. Are people responding well to it? Are people sort of showing a bit more of an interest because they can actually experience what is in the role, as opposed to sort of looking at a bunch of leaflets and then suddenly being in a bit of a shock?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been a really beneficial recruitment tool for us, and it's, as I say, it's good for people to really be able to live that lifestyle and to see what it feels like. So like you say, you can look in a brochure, you can read about it, by actually taking part in something and seeing what it really looks and feels like, it really gives people a good view as to what it could be like to be in a tank, as you said.
When it comes to graduate level and recruiting people in the early stages, not just for reservist roles, but for full-time commitment to the Army, how do you do that? How do you go about that?
Yeah, so again, we take on a huge number of graduates and actually non-grads as well onto the officer entry level. So those guys that want to commission through Sandhurst, say huge graduate population that comes through. So we appeal to them in the usual way, really, on the attraction space. So using universities themselves and other publications in order to reach out to those guys and girls again that might be interested. The great thing again about being an officer, either a reservist option or to do that as a full-time role. So if you're already in full-time employment as a graduate but you want to again perhaps find a challenge or something that you're not quite getting out of your perhaps slightly more mundane day job, you can come along and join the reserves as an officer and then do some of that fun stuff, more exciting, challenging stuff as well. If people are looking for a full-time career, then yeah, absolutely, that option is there and available to you.
With the reservists, you kind of touch on all levels. I think your Major General is also a company secretary, so it's flexible in terms of not just the time committed, but also the level of the role.
Yeah, absolutely. Opportunities again for all people, from soldier to officer entry, in various different roles. So yeah, there's so much opportunity. We have people come from all walks of life, sort of tradesmen up to professional corporate workers. It really, really varies, and the roles that those guys can come and do is totally up to them and what they really fancy getting involved in. We have people that like to do something similar to their day job. We have people that like to come and do something totally different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, lots of opportunity.
And you also released a new advert campaign.
We have.
Which is being shown in the background. How is that? What's the aim of that?
So again, it's that real attraction piece. So looking to show people exactly what you can do. So for someone that is a reservist, for example, you could have a day job where you're getting the train to or from work, or you could travel to work by some of the vehicles that are shown on that video. Yeah. Just an example of, again, the sort of things that you can get involved in.
One of the common misconceptions about Army Reservists is that they don't get paid as well. what would you say to an individual that thought that?
Yeah, there absolutely is payment involved. It's not a voluntary service. You get paid a day rate for every day that you train with the reserves. So everything that you do, you will receive a day rate. And actually, on top of that, there's also the opportunity to get a bounty, as we call it, so a kind of an annual bonus as well.
And there's also opportunities for promotion, am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So just as it would be in the regular army, you can certainly go up the ranks. So, through your performance and how well you're doing and the opportunities arise, then yes, you certainly will get promoted too.
And is it difficult to assess performance when someone may only commit, say, 19 days a year?
Yeah, no, I mean, the senior ranks are well rehearsed to see what people are doing and set them tasks that actually stretch people and allow people to work to their strengths and build on their weaknesses as well. So it's a real development side of things within the army in general, but certainly in the reserves as well. So they get the chance to see what they're doing on the tasks that they're setting, the opportunities that they give them.
People can prove themselves in that short period of time.
Yeah, they're more than welcome to.
So joining the army and the reservists is, I guess, the development side of things. So the qualifications you can gain, and also the travel opportunities. So tell us a little bit more about both of them.
Yeah, so again, as a reservist, same with the regular army, you can travel across the UK and sort of more of a global picture, if you like. So there's opportunity to go and train, and perhaps deployment as well. Definitely an opportunity to travel. So it's something that someone's into. It's a real good opportunity to do that. As far as qualifications go in it as well, as I say, you're being paid for these training days, and also whilst you're being paid for these training days, you also have the opportunity to get involved in some extra qualifications. All of them are actually civilian accredited as well, so that's another sort of misconception that you get kind of army qualifications that then mean nothing in civilian street, and that's not true. So any qualifications that you get whilst you're serving in the army, reservists or otherwise, you will be able to get accreditation for those that are recognised out in civilian street.
And when people are travelling abroad, I mean, how do employers respond to, I don't know, an employee coming in and saying, "Oh, I'm now part of the army"? Are they receptive to it, or? Yeah,
we have a huge number of companies that have kind of sort of signed up and come on board with exactly that. So, HR policy to say that if you are serving a reservist, we are supportive of that. But things like annual training, for example, quite often companies will say, if you are going to go a stretch of training, perhaps a 2-week summer camp, then we won't take that out of your annual leave. That's something that we will give you as extra, because we value the fact that you're a reservist, the skills that you bring back to the workplace, and we're proud of you for serving for the British Army.
And finally, for someone that wants to join the Army Reserves, or maybe an employer that wants to encourage their employees to do the same, how can they do that?
Yeah, a few different routes really. So we have absolutely tons of information via the Army Jobs website. It's a really good place to start. It tells you all about how to apply and how best to prepare, the type of person that we're looking for. And for employers that want to get in touch, and again for applicants, come along to one of the Army Careers offices. There's 73 of them across the country, and we're always willing to speak to people that are looking to join, or again, for employees to come and find out exactly what benefits it could have to your staff and your workforce.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi Naomi, so you are a reservist yourself,
Yep.
And you have a day job.
Yep, so I work at Jaguar Land Rover in Coventry as a project in project management team.
And how did they respond when you said, I want to join the army as well as do my day job?
Yeah, the Jaguar are really supportive. They have quite a few reservists within the company, so they understand the commitment, and they're very supportive of the military as a whole. So they're pretty flexible about what we can do and when we can go, so they're very good.
And do you think that it's a good thing for employers, for their employees to go out and have adventures with the army?
Yeah, definitely. There's lots of opportunities, certainly on the sort of management leadership side, where people can develop quite a lot within the army atmosphere, and they can bring that back into their day job to help the employers in the future.
And how have you personally sort of gained from your experiences?
Yeah, I've had a lot of opportunities to travel and play sport, lead soldiers as well, who are just brilliant fun to be around half the time, and it's not something you get to do on a day-to-day basis. My job doesn't involve managing people, so whereas I can do that within the reserves and gain that experience that hopefully later on in my civilian career I'll be able to use those skills much better.
Excellent, and thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.